YouTube, what's happening? It's been a while. Here's everything you should know before you buy a BMW X5M F85. So unfortunately for this car and this platform, there's a lot of problems that like to occur. One of them is the drive shaft. I have seen it time over time after time. The drive shaft just fails because of the torque, and BMW just didn't make the splines long enough to support this car and this power and this weight. So even with it stock, the drive shaft fails all the time. Just a little recap, my X5M is highly modified. We're about 888 horsepower on this car. It is hauling power. Thankfully, I have not had my drive shaft go out on me, but I have upgraded to Tony's upgraded drive shaft, which is from fulltorquedriveshafts.com. I will leave a link in the description below. And then recently I installed a JXP Performance drive shaft carrier upgrade. It's on the race or the track one. Highly recommend that because it keeps your drive shaft centered and really tight instead of it having any slack. It is just an incredible thing. It's like the best 350 bucks you could spend. Not sponsored, but I love their product. So drive shafts. So it goes out and it can leave you stranded. It can do so much damage to your transmission or your transfer case. It is just a big problem. So make sure you upgrade yours. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what mileage it's at. Upgrade your drive shaft. Another common failure in this platform is this car has springs in the front and airbags / air suspension in the back. So the car does adjust to the sport mode or whatever you're in. So I've heard of the shocks leaking fluid and having problems. I've never had that problem on my car, but I've heard about people having that problem with theirs. But going back to the rear bags, these bags love to fail and just go out and just sag over time. So if your rear airbag is going out, you'll see it like slammed on the car. Yeah, so I've had this car for almost 3 years now. The previous owner placed the right side airbag right before I bought it because of the failure. And I had to personally change out the left airbag. Thankfully, he gave me a spare because you bought them in pairs. But that is a huge common failure on this car, unfortunately. I honestly am surprised it's not a recall from BMW with how common these go out. But that is what it is. And then labor. Labor is not too terrible, but it's not great. So it is something you need to worry about. Another huge common failure on this car is the transfer case. My transfer case has gone out technically twice, for sure once, and that was me just putting on different wheels. It just happened to be the worst timing, but it went out. I sent it out to New York for Pure Drivetrain Solutions to upgrade it. Do I recommend that? Not really. I would just rebuild the internals somehow, some way. If you guys have any questions about that, please let me know in the comments, but I sent it out to New York to get it upgraded. It did help, and it does help with the power, but is it worth it? I don't think so. I've seen the transfer cases go out on stock cars, heavily modified cars. It just depends on how you drive the car and how you get on it and stuff, but the things you can do to prevent that or like how to upgrade that is just find a shop that can upgrade the internals of the transfer case or rebuild it just with stock ones. Make sure you're changing out your transfer case fluid kind of like on regular with BMW. I've replaced the fluid a couple times. She looks so good. All right, so now we're going to talk about a V8 problem with every BMW, oil consumption. So this car loves to consume oil. I actually have figured out a solution to helping me personally. So I live here in Chicago, so the climate, it gets really hot in the summer, not like Phoenix hot, but it does get hot, and then it gets stupid cold in the winter. And I drive this in the winter. So what I've done is I think I went from 5W40 oil to 5W50, which is a thicker oil. I use Redline 5W50. It is an expensive oil. That's what I personally run. I stand by that. I haven't had any problems with it. A lot less oil consumption. With my oil, just the oil and the filter, I buy it at fcpeuro.com. I love FCP Euro. If you haven't bought anything from FCP Euro, you're missing out. But with their products, they come with a lifetime warranty. So with their oil, put all the old oil back in the containers, pay for shipping back. And so for the oil and filters, I buy about 12 quarts of 5W50 from Redline and an oil filter. It costs about $283. and then I usually just have to pay like 60 bucks for shipping. So what I mean by that is, I think I already kind of talked about it, but they asked me to send back the old oil with their lifetime warranty. So I put it back into the same containers, package them up really nicely, tighten them, double bag them so they don't leak any oil, ship them back with the paper, and I get the full refund. So I pay about $60 for shipping it back, or $70. Because I'm doing oil changes about every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. It's every 3,000 with the E85 I'm running on this car. But yeah, oil consumption has gone down a lot less with the thicker oil. I get all my service and oil changes at Dynamic BMW here in Huntley, Illinois. Highly recommend them if you're in the Chicagoland area. Back to the oil we were talking about. So I've got 2 oil catch cans in the car. People ask me all the time for links and like, do they help? Yes, they do help. Yes, they do work. Do I recommend it for everyone? Not really, to be honest, but that's just me. So everything I've mentioned, I do mean this for stock cars or modified cars or heavily modified cars. I recommend it for everyone. Moving on to the tires, my gosh. Every time I buy tires, I want to cry because every tire is about $500 each. So you do the math, it's about $2,000. I do not have any sponsorships. I wish I did. But for the winter tires alone, they were so rare and so hard to find. I actually had to get 2 different tire companies with similar tread just for the winter tires. So in the front, I'm running Pirelli Scorpion winter tires, and then the back tires are Yokohama, I'm probably slaughtering that word, but Yokohama Blue Earth winter tires. They've been amazing in the snow. The only problem I've ever had was turning a corner way too fast. I should not have been going that fast, but other than that, they've been amazing in the snow. It's a tank. But back to the tires. So the tire sizes are very hard to find because stock, they come with 325s in the rear. I believe the fronts are 285s. And you can go to a square setup, 295s all around. I had a friend do that, and so you can rotate the tires so they wear more evenly. But my God, so the tires love to wear in the inner because of the camber. There's quite a bit of camber in the front and a little bit in the rear. Yeah, so tires wear out extremely fast. They're really expensive. They're hard to find for the sizes. Is it possible to find the tire sizes? Yes, it's not easy though. It's not cheap. So these are the stock 21-inch wheels that come with the car. I do like 21s, but I wish they were 22s. But then if you go up to 22s, it's even harder to find the tires you want. And you can get some upgraded control arms for the front to help with that camber issue, but I'm not really interested in it. For those of you that don't know what staggered fitment means, it's different size tires in the front and the rear. So when you do that, it makes it so you can't rotate the tires, so you're going through tires even more. So moving on to the interior of the car, my God, BMW did not miss with this interior. I love this interior so much. Every single thing in this car is leather, Alcantara, carbon fiber. It's incredible. Like coming from 4 Audis, they really did well with this interior. The full roof is Alcantara. The side pillars, even the sun visors are full Alcantara. Like, not many cars come like that anymore. So it's just, interior is amazing quality. I give it so much credit. The seats are amazing. The customization on the seats is absolutely crazy. Like what you can do, you can tighten it. The seats, they'll really hug you in there. You can lumbar support. I mean, obviously it doesn't have massage seats, but it's got heated and ventilated seats. But why are we in the interior of this car? Because my car is a 2016 BMW X5M. And with the 2016 model, you do not get Apple CarPlay. You get Bluetooth only. The 2017 and the 2018 and the rest, you know, they come with Apple CarPlay. So this is an aftermarket screen. It's from 4x4shop.ca, so for Canada. I bought it from there. I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful screen. It looks OEM plus. It didn't look like OEM plus for a second, but then it actually is perfect. Another common failure on this platform is this dash lifting. And it's full leather, right? Yeah, I never thought this would happen to me because I take care of my car. I leather condition the crap out of this car. I take care of it. It's never parked outside for long periods of time. And unfortunately, the dash has failed a little bit. It's not super noticeable. It's not bad, but it's starting to bubble. It's starting to lift. And as far as I know, there's not really a way to fix this unless you do a whole replacement. But yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's not terrible. It could be worse.
Nobody else notices.
Yeah, I just noticed because I'm so tall. Yeah. But if you don't have tint on your front windshield, you might see it even more, but I have tinted windshields. moving on to the rear, this isn't a thing you should know, but I'm just going to talk about it briefly in this video. Exhaust options, there's a lot of exhaust options for this car. The number one exhaust option I would get is Eisenman exhaust. It looks the best, probably sounds the best. It is very loud, so if you don't want a very loud exhaust, do not get that one. As far as my exhaust, it's catless downpipes, an X5 from Amazon, an Axleback exhaust from theexhaustcompany.com with some upgraded tips. So it's a kind of a Frankenstein exhaust. It sounds okay, it sounds good. It's not too loud, not too quiet, but I definitely want to get something better. So the last thing I want to talk about in this car, which is the biggest problem ever on this platform, is just the rod bearings. I've seen it happen to stock cars, tuned cars, modded cars. Like I've said before, the rod bearings are such an issue on this car that they can go out, and once that rod bearing goes out, you need a new engine, and that sucks. I've been very lucky where I haven't had to replace my rod bearings or my engine, but I do let my car warm up to the full operating temperature. I run good oil, I stay on top of the maintenance. I do get on the car. It's not like I baby the car, but I don't beat the crap out of this car. And I think that's what saved my rod bearings, because I am pushing a lot of power. All right, everybody, so that's everything you should know about before buying an F85 BMW X5M. This is Sean Has Jokes. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Happy New Year, guys. Enjoy your 2025. I want to see you guys win.